Hello everyone, I am back once again with another Wi-Fi match for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This is going to be my week 3 match for the BDSP League, and my opponent for this match is going to be somebody named DrV or DrV or whatever. So yeah, this is my week 3 opponent, and hopefully this time we can actually make something work, because so far our first 2 matches kind of showed that we were not doing pretty well whatsoever. And a lot of it can be attributed to the draft that I have, which has been very difficult to use because everything has a lot of weaknesses, and yeah, it's not able to get a lot going for it. So yeah, with a mon like Garchomp or Heatran, you'd think they'd be able to put in the work, but I think sometimes that also requires other mons to, complement those mons, and if they don't, then on their own it doesn't seem like they can do as much as I'd like them to. I don't know, go figure. This is just based on my personal experiences. But either way, so the teams are as follows here, as you can see. My opponent, annoyingly enough, has a Crobat, which is pretty fast, obviously. That's one of the reasons why I brought Aerodactyl, so that it can compete with Crobat in terms of speed. And it also has Azelf, which, again, that's kind of why I brought Aerodactyl, so that it can kind of like punch a hole on that thing as well. He has a Rotom-Wash, which can be annoying, can pivot around. Miltank is a bulky mon. Those things can be quite compromising if they have the right sets. Hitmontop as well, it could be annoying with Intimidate. Kingdra can set up Dragon Dances and ruin my day. So yeah, like this team is threatening. I just feel like it might be workable this time compared to other ones. But again, it's all just going to come down to how well I can play against this guy. If I play poorly, then yeah, I'm probably just going to get wrecked just as badly as all the other matches that I've done so far. So yeah, we're going to see right now. So here we go. I'm going to lead off with Heatran. My opponent is going to lead off with Rotom-Wash, annoyingly enough. Because what I wanted to do with this Heatran was just set up the rocks and then just be able to, switch out. But here, I go for it regardless because I was annoyed that yet again I lead badly. So yeah. Unfortunately for me, I for some reason did not count on this Rotom lead to be a nasty plotting one. Usually most Rotom Wash leads are usually to Volt Switch, but this one was just straight up to a freaking setup and sweep, which was pretty annoying. I got so shaken up right here that I actually was considering switching out here to Ludicolo, which I do, because I was anticipating a Hydro Pump. But because this thing is at +2, he just ends up going for the Thunderbolt here, which is bad. And I mean very bad, because, yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, Heatran would not have been able to do anything, so I guess going for Thunderbolt made sense because he wouldn't lose much going for it. But I personally didn't think that far in, I guess, so, yeah. Because of that, obviously now I have to freaking deal with this, where I'm about to lose Ludicolo for literally no reason, because I switched it in. But honestly, what else could I have sent in? I could have maybe been ballsy and tried to predict them going for Thunderbolt and going into Garchomp, but if I get hit with a Hydro Pump, then I just lose Garchomp for no reason, which is annoying. But anyways, bottom line is that right now I lost Ludicolo, which is bad, because I think Ludicolo could have probably done a bit of work against this guy's team besides everything else, but now it's not possible. So because again, this Ludicolo had the Damp Rock along with the Rain Dance, so it might have been able to late game sweep if I set it up correctly, but now it just doesn't get to do absolutely anything, which is unfortunate. I was looking at my team, and obviously I don't got a lot for this Rotom because right now it's at +2 and just kind of destroys everything. So I just had to send in Garchomp right here and just go for the freaking Outrage, and hopefully it can either take it out in 2 hits or, in 1 hit if possible. But for me, that's lately been feeling doubtful. So, and as you can see, it was barely a 2-hit KO, but this thing has Will-O-Wisp, so now I'm burned. So now it's going to be a 3-hit KO. So yeah, it had Nasty Plot and it has Will-O-Wisp just to ruin my day, honestly, which is annoying. So here, obviously, like now I'm just left wondering what I can do now. I think here I try to just go for more Outrages because that's literally all I can do. I am locked into Outrage after all. So, but I'm like still wondering like what can I do after this, because yeah, this Rotom is obviously not going to go down. with another outrage, so he's probably going to hit me with that hydro pump that I was fearing, or so I thought, because turns out he actually goes for the hex instead, which, yeah, it does a decent amount of damage too, because I mean, I'm burned and it's at +2, so despite it not being stab, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Although truth be told, I think a hydro pump would have done a lot more, maybe even take me out completely, but either way, it is what it is. I do survive, so I guess that's a good thing, because this will allow me to at least have another shot at trying to take out this Rotom. In fact, I feel like if I don't take out this Rotom right now, I think I just get swept by this Rotom wash alone, because unfortunately not a whole lot of my team outspeeds it. Well, maybe Aerodactyl can finish it off, but again, something will just come in and just take that out as well. So it's just like, it would put me in a much worse position than what I am already in right now. So yeah, Garchomp unfortunately goes down because burn, obviously. I was actually glad that I didn't go down much earlier. Like, as soon as I got to red, I thought right there is where I was gonna just go down with the burn, but thankfully I survived just for one turn so that I can get one more outrage off, and that at least allows me to take out the Rotom Wash. But unfortunately, it costed me 2 months to take out that Rotom Wash, and it didn't have to be that way. But unfortunately it was, because unfortunately I was just playing way too dumb at this point. So, you know, it is what it is. So here I'm going to send out Slowbro, because what I want to do is immediately go for the Trick Room, because yeah, this Slowbro is actually a Trick Room variant with Life Orb again, because again, my team is just kind of not giving me a lot of options for some reason against all these teams that I'm dealing with right now. He sends in this Kingdra, which, yeah, can be annoying because again, it can set up Dragon Dance, but what he ends up having instead is actually the Focus Energy, which immediately told me what I was getting myself into right here. And it was that I was going to be dealing with a Sniper Kingdra with Focus Energy to possibly crit me with attacks, which, yeah, is incredibly annoying. I do get the Trick Room off, and I do get the Psychic off here. Unfortunately, it's not enough to even take this thing out, which is what sucks about my draft. And this thing is just going to go for Draco Meter, and that, unfortunately, combined with the Sniper ability and the Focus Energy, is going to allow it to crit and take me out completely. So that is unfortunate. I do lose Slowbro here, which, yeah, sucks, because I'm literally losing all of my powerful hitters here, and I'm just being left with ones that can barely do anything, with the exception of Machamp. Machamp can still hit hard, but it's slow. That's the only problem, and a lot of this guy's team is really, really fast, so it's gonna have to take damage before it can even land hits on anything. And specifically because of that is why I send it in right now, because right now the Trick Room is barely up, so I can take advantage of the turns that are left of Trick Room to actually start punching holes in this guy's team. And right here I decided to just go for the knockoff on this Kingdra. Turns out this thing had a scope lens as well, so that only amplified the crit ratio even further, making it almost guaranteed, I guess. So that's just insane work right there. Now he's going to send out Hitmontop, and this Hitmontop is also scary because even though it doesn't seem to be of the Intimidate variety, but rather of the Technician variety, that thing can still hit me hard with an Aerial Ace boosted by Technician, and if I survive that for one reason or another, it would just finish me off with a Mach Punch, which is also boosted by Technician. So yeah, obviously I'm in a tight situation yet again, which is pretty annoying. Here, I think here I actually go for the knockoff as opposed to just going for a Dynamic Punch. I don't remember why though. It might have been a misclick, I don't remember though. Because this match happened like a month or two ago, a few months ago actually. So yeah, I don't remember. I go for knockoff regardless though. I do knock off an Expert Build, which does allow me to survive the Aerial Ace, because I think otherwise I might not have, I think. But regardless, I should have gone for the Dynamic Punch because again, yeah, Mach Punch just finishes me off here. I don't know if it mattered though, because I do think that the Dynamic Punch wouldn't have been enough to take out the Hitmontop. I don't think, anyway. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would have. But either way, I think I was on tilt either way, because I was just like, you know, getting outplayed left and right by my opponents, and not to mention also overwhelmed because my team again is not good. So here I'm just gonna go for an Aerial Ace now, and I'm hoping it can take out the Hitmontop. Thankfully it is. Thankfully, I was actually surprised because I kind of thought it would survive. Hitmontops do tend to be bulky, but this one was actually surprisingly enough not bulky, or at least not bulky enough to take the Aerial Ace. But yeah, it is what it is. Either way, so with Hitmontop out of the way, he's now going to send out the Miltank, which, yeah, this was the mon that kind of just made me feel like I maybe just lost this match now. But something kind of annoying is going to happen here. So, because obviously I am afraid that this Miltank could have like either Thunder Wave, or it's just going to survive whatever attack I go for with Aerodactyl and then just retaliate with Body Slam and then get the paralysis off of that. I decided to just send in Heatran to possibly take that paralysis. Because Aerodactyl needs to be fast for the Crobat that he still has in the back of his team. So, yeah. As you can see, he does go for the Thunder Wave with this Miltank, and he's going to have lefties on top of that. And I think I myself have lefties as well. I don't remember. Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, I haven't taken damage, so I guess that makes sense. What I'm going to do here is try to go for a Magma Storm just to get some damage. He's annoyingly enough going to set up the rocks, but I think for right now that doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be switching into Aerodactyl with this Miltank because, again, this thing has Thunder Wave and I don't want my Aerodactyl to be paralyzed because otherwise Crobat will pretty much win the match for him. He also has the Azelf in the back too, which is kind of what I'm a little worried about. And I'm trying to see if I can keep this Heatran alive to at least get some damage on that before it goes down. I did get paralyzed a few times here though, which really sucks, so I couldn't get any attacks off on this Miltank, which is allowing him to get free damage on me with the Seismic Toss. The Seismic Toss did pressure the heck out of me because this is a move that ignores stats and just kind of does damage equivalent to my level, which is 50, so it's doing 50 every time, and that's pretty substantial on Heatran. I'm going to keep trying to go for the Magma Storm here because, you know, I need to get something going here. He gets another Seismic Toss off, which is a little annoying. Thankfully, I'm getting HP back with the leftovers, but again, I'm eventually going to go down to this Seismic Toss. I do finally get the Magma Storm off right here, and unfortunately for me, it doesn't do too much damage, but it's always nice to see that that I can get the residual damage from the Magma Storm, you know, like after every turn and whatnot. From here, I think I try to go for the Lava Plume afterwards, now that I got the Magma Storm off. I either try to go for the Lava Plume to get the burn, or try to go for the Flash Cannon to get the Spadef drop. So, yeah. Here, okay, it seems like I am going to go for the Lava Plume to get the burn. Even though it resisted the freaking Magma Storm like a freaking madman, I wanted to get the burn on this thing because of how bulky this thing is already. I'm not getting the burn annoyingly enough, which does suck. We're both getting lefties here, which drags this match even further. This is actually annoying because, like, even though I'm getting all this residual damage with the Magma Storm, I feel like this thing is gonna at some point just go for Milk Drink and just be super annoying again. I think this made me just forget about the freaking burn altogether for a bit because this thing is just gonna go for Milk Drink right here. And this made me realize, you know what, I should just probably try to go for the Flash Cannon and get the Spadef drop. If I can get that, that'd be great. It does seem I did get a crit right here, so that means it would have taken the freaking Flash Cannon even better. Thankfully for me, I got a crit and a special defense drop though, which combined, yeah, that's pretty good. That's like a blessing right there. That's like the kind of RNG I needed for a match like this, where I'm just always like on the back pedal or whatever you call it, where I'm like behind, you know, where I'm like at a deficit. So yeah, here because of that, I was motivated to keep going for more Flash Cannons, because this guy is trying to get a little funny with me by going for Milk Drinks, and I am running out of time, so I gotta keep going for Flash Cannons here. It is withering him down. If he goes for another Milk Drink, he risks me getting another Spadef drop possibly, and then he'll definitely be able to go down to this Heatran. The only problem is just that I am getting paralyzed here a lot. So yeah, I just kind of gotta hope that I don't get paralyzed here, and maybe I can see what he wants to send out after this Miltank goes down. So I'm gonna try to go for the Flash Cannon yet again right here, because again, I think it's now better than the freaking Lava Plume, because again, it resists it and it's not getting the burn. Obviously the chances of getting the Spadef drop with Flash Cannon is lower than the burn from Lava Plume, but the fact that I got it right now, I just had to capitalize on this. He actually tried going for the Seismic Toss as opposed to the Milk Drink, because I'm guessing he thought he was going to take me out right here, but thankfully he did not. Not that it matters though, because the next mon that he's going to send out right here is going to be the Azov, and Azov is just going to finish me off with whatever move it has. Probably Psychic will do it, honestly, or Shadow Ball if he has doubts. So yeah, my opponent is going to send that out right now, and he's definitely going to finish off my Heat Ran, unfortunately. Does take rocks damage though. So yeah, I'm going to try to go for the Flash Cannon right here just to get some damage off. But as you can see right here, yeah, this thing is just going to go for the Shadow Ball. He did have doubts as to whether he can take me out with the Psychic. I think he would have though. But yeah, he goes for Shadow Ball just for good measure. And yeah, this thing also has leftovers, annoyingly enough, which I don't like one bit. So, because now I'm just left with Aerodactyl, and honestly, I'm not going to be able to... I'm not even sure I can take it out with a move here. So this is the moment of truth right here, and let it be known that it's right here where I think once again I make a dumb play actually. Cause look, I have Rock Slide, and I do believe I was thinking of going for it at some point, but for some reason here I just go for the Crunch, and yeah, I kind of forgot that it's not Stab on Aerodactyl. It's because when I look at the move Crunch, I sometimes think that the move is Stab on whoever uses it. But yeah, obviously on Aerodactyl it's not Stab, so I just kind of like, yeah, I derped hard right here. And because of that, yeah, it's not Stab, so because of that it doesn't take it out. I was surprised at first, but again, it just clicked on me that this wasn't Stab on Aerodactyl, so because of that, I just ended up freaking making what is possibly the worst play here in this game. Cause yeah, I think I was supposed to go for the Rock Slide here, because at least that would have given me a chance to possibly flinch it, and then I could have finished it off with the Crunch that way. Then from there, his last mon would have been Crobat, and then right there I would have definitely been able to go for another Rock Slide, and even if it survived it, I think I would have been able to survive a Brave Bird, and then from there I would have been able to just follow it up with either another Crunch or an Aerial Ace, because Crobat would have probably been around red after the Rock Slide. So yeah, and I could have won that way. But again, it was not a guaranteed win. I had to rely on RNG for me to possibly win. So yeah, no. So this match, basically, I think I might have just lost it unless I got lucky, which as you can see, was not the case whatsoever. So yet again, I get overwhelmed because my draft is just terrible. So obviously, like I said before, I'm going to give you guys an idea of what I meant with my draft. I'm not going to go into full detail. I'm just going to tell you guys what like really stood out to me and what made me like feel like this team was just not it. So I had two mons that I had in mind of which one I wanted to draft. And it was Garchomp and Gengar. And I was thinking to myself, Garchomp does have a lot of weaknesses, but can be good if the right mons come about. Like if I can get my hands on the right mons. Whereas Gengar I think has less prominent weaknesses than Garchomp. And I feel like I can maybe make stuff work with better mons. But ultimately, as soon as I picked Garchomp round 1, the turns that followed immediately resulted in a bunch of snipes. So because of that, a lot of the mons that I wanted to complement Garchomp were not available. They were all sniped by all kinds of opponents here, which, yeah, just made it so that a lot of my team turned out the way it was. Hell, the Ludicolo, I actually purposely sniped it from Icy Dude because he got the Pelipper, and I was just like, yeah, no. I don't want this guy to have a Rain Core freaking on his team. So yeah, I think he ended up having it anyway because he got Kabutops either way. But still, like, I just didn't want him to have Ludicolo too, honestly. But honestly, it was for naught because at the end of the day, Ludicolo didn't really get to put in much work. I even tried to bring it for this match and it didn't end up working out. Obviously, I wasn't too confident with my draft, obviously. Because of that, obviously, you already saw, these matches have been all pretty terrible for me. Like, they weren't destructive losses. Like, they weren't like 4-0s or 5-0s like it was for me in the SDA league. But they were losses that just happened because I just couldn't, you know, like, this team that I had was just too delicate. It had too many weaknesses, and the exploitations were just prominent. I just kept seeing it, and I just couldn't find a way around it. and my mons were just not powerful enough to one-shot things. So yeah, I was just stuck sucking it up, which sucked. So because of that, obviously, yeah, I had to make the terrible decision here of, yeah, calling it quits, because yeah, like I said before, these matches did not go well for me. So I got so, again, depressed for losing a lot. So because of that, I actually once again decided to quit the league. Unlike the SDA league, where I kind of just like I just got a DQ win on, or a DQ loss actually, on the final week, and then just kind of quit out of nowhere on the playoffs. I decided not to do it because, yeah, I just got lazy. But here, yeah, here I was just so done, honestly, because I was just losing a lot, and this team was not helping me whatsoever. There wasn't even any like drafts I could have made to make my team better either. So it's just like I was just stuck with this team and couldn't do anything about it. Not that it, like, me dropping out of the league is, yeah, it's kind of like disappointing, but to be honest, this league was actually kind of like a short season, honestly, because it was only of 5 weeks. So, and I already did 3 weeks, so I guess you can say I did the majority of the matches. But yeah, would have been nice to have done the last 2 matches, but the problem was that my team was just so bad, and I was tired of getting overwhelmed by the team. For me, this match was the last straw, honestly. Like, if I said to myself that if I didn't win this match, I think I was just quitting, honestly. Kind of like what happened with me in week 5 of the SDA league. I lost that match, and I said to myself that if I lose week 6, I was quitting. I didn't lose, and then I kept going, but then, I don't know, stuff happened, and then I just got lazy. So yeah, but here things were different. Here I just got overwhelmed, and I said to myself that if I lose week 3, that was it. And what did you know? I lost. So now I quit because I was just tired, honestly. Yeah, no, and here's the thing. If you want to know who my opponents were for the final weeks, one of them was actually A Prater54, the commissioner of the SDA League. The guy who couldn't schedule or couldn't reschedule with me because he had things to do. And yeah, had to give me a forfeit loss. Yeah, no. I didn't want to battle him, frankly, because, yeah, look, remember what I said about him, honestly, where I have battled him 3 times before, and not a single time did he ever upload a single match between us. So I didn't like the idea of me battling him now with this shitty team that I have and then losing, because his record was actually pretty good in this season of BDSP. So yeah, obviously I didn't like the idea of battling him, losing, and then him uploading the match and being all like, oh yeah, Sharpedo, good player, and then it's just me getting wrecked. Like, come on now. The man didn't even have it in him to upload one of our matches from the past. And I couldn't battle him in the SDA League. I think if I had battled him in the SDA League, I wouldn't have minded losing to him here. Even if I lost in the SDA League, I would have, like, at least, been able to feel like, okay, I had my shot in the SDA League. So if I lose here, it was just, it was just what it is, obviously. It would have been another Captain Falcon case, though, where I win, if I were to win in the SDA League, and then lose here because my team sucks, obviously. So it's like, I don't know, man. That kind of just made me feel like, yeah, no, screw it, honestly. I don't want to do that, honestly. Then my week 5 opponent was some guy named Arcanine or something like that. Yeah, another guy that was pretty chill at first, and then for some reason got kind of savage with me out of nowhere. All because I said that if you feel the need to take a forfeit win, then you don't really care about Wi-Fi battling. I think because I said that, this dude had like, he became like a smartass with me for some reason. I don't know. I didn't like that though either. So kind of makes me glad I didn't play him either way. But with all that said, I think that's all I got. And yeah, so just let it be known that this is all the matches I had. It was only 3 matches, which is why I was like, you know what, let's just get these matches in. Not only that, but this is BDSP too, so, and I do like this game a lot. I do like battling in it, even though I lose a lot. And not to mention, remember that I also mentioned in my matches with Captain Falcon that I also wanted to see if I can maybe reach up to 30 matches with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because I don't like the idea of having less matches for what is one of my favorite games in the series. Despite the game being bad, obviously. But you know that this game has a special place in my heart because of the fact that it goes back to Gen 4 and whatnot. So, yeah, obviously, it doesn't feel right for me to have less than 30 matches for a game that I like, honestly. I know obviously I didn't like seek out enough matches back in the day, but you know, that's because I was busy playing through the game and covering it on my channel. So obviously with these 3 matches, I now have I think like 27 matches. So yeah, I'm like 3 away from 30. So I don't know, if I can't find more people to battle after this, then maybe I'll try to like, I don't know, maybe go into the global room and see if I can find any people there. Even if they use in-game teams, I think I'm gonna just like, I don't know, just battle regardless and just, you know, just pretend that they're good players even though they're probably not. Anything to just get matches on my channel, because again, I do want more matches on my channel for BDSP, but you know, they're kind of starting not to exist now. But it be what it be. Either way, with all that said, thank you Icy Dude for having me in the league, and I apologize to you as well for letting you down like I did with Sharpedo43 in the SDA league. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that for me, I'm kind of like, I remember in Gen 7, I used to be known for being quite reliable when it came to doing these draft leagues. Like, I used to be the one to not only commit to doing all the matches, even approaching those who for some reason decide to disappear out of nowhere, and then, you know, even upload them, even if the league doesn't require you to upload them. And I did everything on my own. Like, I didn't ask anyone to like make my teams or anything like that. I also did the thumbnails myself, obviously. Like, I did a lot of stuff on my own when it came to these draft leagues. So that I was reliable, I was reliable. It's kind of a shame to see that now I'm just being anything but. Especially considering I used to be very critical of people who didn't do this stuff, honestly. So now I just feel like a straight up hypocrite, which is just, again, a shame. But again, I think I've mentioned before why I even like quit this this stuff with the draft leagues and whatnot. Like, I've lost interest in draft leagues is because there is a video that I made a while ago. I think it's called the prologue video. I don't know how much longer I'll have that video up, but it's still on my channel if you want to see it. I might even link it in the description if you're curious. But there I do talk about like what got me into doing draft leagues and stuff, and you know, ever since those elements disappeared or have pretty much diminished as time went on, yeah, no, I've just kind of lost motivation to even do these anymore. And they were kind of the reason why I even wanted to do them in the first place. So when the opportunities were just lost, I just decided to like just screw it. I've already mentioned why I even did these matches to begin with. Obviously, it was just to get more matches for both Sword and Shield and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because I feel like I haven't done enough of those, honestly. Because of that, obviously, I don't regret having done any of these matches, even if they didn't turn out the way I was hoping they would. So once again, Icy Dude, thank you for having me in this league, and once again, I apologize for letting you down as well by not being able to do all the matches. I know I also got a little angry too, because people were saying that they were gonna upload their matches, and you know that gets me hyped, because I do like when people upload matches where I participate with them. Like, if I battle them, I like to see my opponent's point of view on the match they had with me and stuff like that. But, you know, turns out that not a single person that I faced uploaded. Sure, Aprater was going to upload, but again, you already know my history with Aprater, obviously. So, obviously, I didn't want to let that slide. That just didn't feel right to me. Final week opponent wasn't uploading either, honestly. There were people who were definitely uploading all their matches, but unfortunately, I just didn't get them, honestly. Besides Aprater, but again, it's just, again, it wasn't right. The timing wasn't right for that, obviously. With all this TED talk out of the way, I think that's all I've got to say on the matter. Yeah, I did this league, and I quit early, and yeah, I do apologize once again for that. But I did not like this draft whatsoever. It was terrible, honestly. I tried to make it work, but it was not working out whatsoever. This was because the season was only 5 weeks too. I was just guaranteed not making the playoffs after 3 losses, honestly. Regardless, if you watch this match, as well as all my other matches that I've showcased for Pokemon Sword and Shield, as well as Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, thank you for watching as always. Hope to catch you fellas for whatever else I decide to showcase on this channel. Now that I've caught up with all these Wi-Fi matches, now I can probably like start doing some other stuff, like maybe playing some of my other games or something. Maybe I can get into like MK2. Probably not though. I actually wanted to save that after I actually played a few more games. So probably that's what I'm gonna do now, is actually play a few games here before getting into that game. But yeah, either way, if you're interested in that, stay tuned, obviously. But for now, just take it easy and have yourselves a good one.